So today is July 12th. Summer is flying by. Hey, Amanda. So this is our Tuesday night team endurance call. And so we just were chatting here quickly about Summit. I know we're super pumped for our team to get together. You guys probably saw Tim, for those of you that are attending, Tim put a post up to get shirts. We talked about that at Fit Club last week, so we're excited for everyone to get shirts because, as you know, with thousands and thousands of people, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. And so I think it's a great idea, and Tim's kind of spearheaded that whole idea, which is great. So I'm glad he's taking that on to get shirts, and looks like we're going to get some good ones too, not just the cotton T-shirts that we're going to cook and melt in Nashville, Tennessee. So I just want to say I am super pumped, guys. We have a lot of coaches from our downline going, which is totally awesome. We have more coaches on our team going than some of our upline coaches, and that's pretty awesome to me. And that's what I'm kind of keeping my head. I mean, I've been especially. I feel like after 4th of July now, like knowing that I have the time off and we get to finally meet coaches that we haven't met on our team, I am super pumped. So I'm so geeked for that. But what we wanted to focus on tonight is just about our Team Endurance Challenge group. And so I've kind of been planting the seed in Tim's ear and just kind of getting, some ideas. And we were chatting at Fit Club and even, between messaging and such. And I think, when it comes to our large challenge group, we have, obviously, I think that systematically, I told this to Tim, I think if Jeff Hill or corporate were to dive into our Team Endurance Challenge group, I think what we're doing is exactly what a challenge group should look like in entirety. I mean, we have people doing, obviously, we know this, we have people doing programs from all over. And at the end of the day, I think it runs itself. And I think any one of us could step away for a day or two, which we have with schedules and work or injuries, etc., and the group continues to run on. But this is our thought. At this point, I think we've got the system down and we've got some great components. But the reality is this, our group is just too large. And at the end of the day, we have the same people posting in our group day in and day out. And that's awesome. Obviously, the people on this call are posting. And the people I knew were going to get on this call are the people that are doing an awesome job. But what we want to do is this. We want to find a system, and so we want to try something new for August and really get some feedback here. I think because of the group being so big and we have a lot of coaches, what we're finding is we're losing traction. And I'm not necessarily saying that when it comes to, challengers having to become coaches, but I think we've done the prizes everybody knows. We're more than glad to cover that for our downline, in a large group. But I think it's the incentives and all that aren't even, I don't think it's giving true value to people want to post in our group. Does that make sense? Okay, so at this point, what we want to do is we want to create a new group starting August 1st, and basically a 30-day team endurance group that's focused for any program. But what we want to do is it's a mandated group for 30 days that you have to post in every single day. And that way, and on this call especially, that each of our coaches on this call, and obviously any coaches that are, of course, aren't on the call, can private message, talk to them however they want, and it basically explain that to them so that we can get everybody who wants to be in. We want people posting every day. We know that there are lurkers in our group. I know there are. I have people that message me. I have people that order Shakeology or message me, hey, I've had people in the group say, wow, she got awesome results. Tell me how to order that program. That's awesome because of people like Tammy's and, people have gotten results and have messaged me, which is great. But at the end of the day, we want people posting every day. And I don't think it's fair. Our group's over 400. I've actually gone through personally, and I have, in the last probably 3 to 4 weeks, I have been deleting people and this is just me. So I'm just going to be honest here. Guys, I've had people in there for 2 years. Some of the people, they've unfriended me because after 8, I'm like, whoa, they're still in the group. I hover over them, they're not friends, so I remove them from the group. That's on me. So I'm like, that just told me, people are always welcome. What we're not going to do is we're not going to close down our team endurance group and start a brand new group. We're going to keep this group open, but what we want to do is start a new group and express to our coaches that they need to start posting in a new group and only add challengers in the group if they want to be active. If they want to just simply see a dead group, not that our group's dead, obviously, but our team, we don't want to double, like we've done smaller challenge groups with, when Hammer and Chisel came out. We did a small group, and Danielle's team did too. We've done programs. I did a max 30 group with Danielle a year and a half ago. It was an awesome group when we still had endurance. But what we don't want is we don't want us to have to post in our big group and then a 30-day group. We want to give this 30 days to give it a try, because I think insanity is basically doing the same thing over and over and not, not getting the results. People are getting results. They're enjoying the challenge group, but people aren't posting. And so we want to make this group, we're not going to close down our big group. We're just simply going to explain to everybody in a tagged post that this is going to be a new group. They don't even have to comment below. They could simply like it. I know, and again, some people are just uncomfortable with posting, and that's fine. We're not here to make them uncomfortable, but I do want people to know that if they want to see a group that's active and they want to be part of it, they need to post every single day. And it's just a way to basically, and Tim brought this up, and it's a great way to have them jumpstart. We have so many people that we've tried everything, the incentives, we put those banners together. We've tried everything, but the same people are posting. The same people every day. And so we need to jumpstart these people that are sitting. I have plenty of people on Shakeology in our group that never post in order and spend $130 a month on Shakeology, but they're not posting. And honestly, I'd rather see them post and this is what I love as a coach. The money's great, but I'd rather see people posting and getting results. That's what drives me. So what the APO, Norma, what do you mean by, what is APO? I know she's probably trying to, so if you can, does anybody know what that means? Everyone's muted. Okay, good question. So Tim asked me about this. This is my feedback. This is my opinion. If we're going to run a group with multiple coaches, I don't think the app is fine. Until Facebook shuts us down, and you guys know me, I've been in jail in the last 6 months more times than I can count, but I've got it down to a science now. Until Facebook shuts us down and us having multiple coaches with our challengers in a group, I don't think the app is a reliable resource. I think, the way we build our businesses, Tammy makes a video on Facebook, Norma makes you and Mike make you've got your videos you make, and everybody, Irma put stuff about, the ultimate reset. That is how we invite people, we find people. And the app is great because it's centralized to seeing what people are doing. But if we're going to have a large group like this, and I told Tim, and Tim was in agreement with me, I don't think the app is our best strategy at this point. I just don't, because it's too centralized. I think it's actually more work. And I think the company only created it because just in case something was to go down with Facebook. At this time, it doesn't scare me at all. Facebook hasn't done anything drastic yet. Numbers are down across the board. Or you're fine. Totally. I'm just being honest. I think until Facebook decides that, they're going to close down groups, or they're going to make them open forums, or until they change their platform, I think what we have in an open system, I don't think people are, checking into an app is easy. I know it's the way of the world, and change is good to embrace. Barbie, what's her name? She talked about it on the wake up call yesterday. And I totally agree with her. Like, people are afraid of change. They're like, oh, Facebook's tough, or, they don't want to integrate to, Beachbody on demand. I don't want to do on demand. I want to do DVDs. Well, sorry. I do agree with her. And people are like, well, I don't want to do Facebook. I don't want to do the app. Facebook groups are working great. I totally agree. So at this point, I think we're just going to stick with a group. And again, I'm so glad you brought that up, Norma, because it's just going to be, we're going to give this a rip. If it fails and we fall on our face, guess what? We can go back to what we've been doing. But I know myself, I've been thinking about this for probably 5 or 6 months, and I haven't enacted on it. It's just been like, okay, listen, this is ridiculous. Sorry, I'm not, you know what I mean, guys? I love you all, but we can't keep having the same people post and run a big group. We don't have to change our group. We just simply have to create a new one. And if you want in, join it. And then after 30 days, we can create a new one. It's not like we have to change the system. We don't have to make new videos. We don't have to change anything we're doing. It's just I think it comes back to that accountability. People, they need some buy-in. They need a jump start. They've done programs. They've done 3 rounds of 21-day fix. Brent, Tim, coaches, what else can you do for me? Well, guess what? This is what we can do. We can create a new group. It's totally free. You can jump on. You can get in the group, and you can be accountable every day. And if you don't click like, and that's totally fine too. And then hopefully you don't unfriend us or don't leave the group. Does that make sense at all, guys? I know I've been talking like a mile a minute here. I thought about this a lot yesterday at 2 in the morning when I was running 26 miles. So I'm a little over the edge right now. So I'm a little sleep deprived. But so anyway, you guys can unmute yourselves too. I hope I didn't go too overboard, or I know I'm talking super fast, so I apologize.
I think it makes sense, because I think without posting, how do we know what our challengers are doing? And after a while, I feel like when I'm posting all the time, I'm posting the same stuff over and over, but I really would like to see the challengers start posting, and it not only holds them accountable, but it helps us to know where they're at too. Otherwise, we don't even know what they're doing.
And so here's my other thing of doing. So glad you, Tammy, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's all.
So Facebook Max, if you have a closed group like we have, if you have it under 250, you can see who sees the post. For a long time, Tammy, you may remember, I don't know if you guys know, I was really strict about keeping it under 250. And then what happened is we kept signing coaches, and coaches ran their challengers. And I basically had to let it go. Because I was like, I kept the group under 250 for a long time. Because you keep it under 250, you can see who sees the post. Once you're in any closed group on Facebook, once it hits over 250, it's blind. So we have 400 people in our group, right? Who's to say that 275 are seeing those posts and the rest of them are just like, they're not even like, they turned off notifications? Tammy, that's exactly why. If we create a 30-day group, there is no way that we're going to have over 30 people. And like you've done with your training, I'm sure, and I can't speak for this. I know you're doing the upline training. If they want in and we add them and they're not posting, not only that, but I can see, if we can see as admins, we can see if they've read the post. So if we're on day 4 and they want it in, and I can go back and look at all the posts, I can see if they saw any of our posts who put their meal plan, put their recipe, put their motivational post, whatever they put. If they're not on day 4, they're obviously not serious about it. And then at least, like you said, Tammy, I think that's a good checkpoint that Facebook offers admins for groups. So we can see who's posting and who's actually, well, of course, who's posting, but who's reading. Does it make sense?
Right. Because see, in the group that I'm in for the training, we have to post every single day. And we have to say, whatever they give us to do, we have to put underneath it, done. And then we're accountable. We have to like take a picture of what we've done and post it on certain days so that they know. And I know that's more in depth than what we're doing because it's a training thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's an accountability. And I'm not just saying accountability to post, but it just helps you stay on track. It helps you every day do what you should be doing to reach your goals if you're posting.
You said it. I think it's going to keep retention rate for Shakeology. And I'll just say this. My heart is truly, and I've said this 1,000 times, my heart is in helping people on the fitness side of it. Tammy, you're talking right now. I know Norma in the background became coaches because you saw the products work for you. When I asked, when I offered, Norma, she actually was it when I offered, she was doing great in our old groups, and she's like, my husband Mike is interested, and it wasn't much. And Tammy, when I came to you, I think we're going to have, this is my thought, it's going to be a natural process after 30 days and say, hey, listen, you're doing awesome. Have you considered signing as a coach? Because if they're already incentive to like, I want to get into the next 30 days, well, guess what? Why would you pay if you're continuing on Shakeology, why would you not pay the 99 versus the 130 and become a coach? I think we're going to have better retention rate for coaches too, and Shakeology, which is a bonus. And again, my heart truly isn't about signing coaches. I mean, I want to sign coaches because I want to help them save a few bucks. And if they want to work the business, great. And this is just me talking for a moment. That's where my heart really is. So when I look at my coaches, my downline, I'm only diamond because my coaches got results. They loved the challenge group and they saw value in it. And now they're paying it forward. And that's why I'm diamond. It's not like I found, Joe Schmo reached out. I mean, my coaches are 90% of them are people that had tremendous success in our challenge group and believed in it and saw the work of themselves and others. So if we can do that and continue on and not just keep going on month after month with a new banner with a cute little, March Madness or July jumping jacks. I don't even know what our hashtags are sometimes. Who knows? But you know what I'm saying? It's fun. We've got the ingredients. We've done it. We don't have to tweak much. We just have to start a new group and try something. So that's
well, I think it's all about helping people get to their goals. And if we can get them to start posting and reaching out and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm stuck, or this is what I'm doing, and look at, I'm doing great, that's going to get them to their goals a lot faster.
And like you said, I mean, Tammy's video, your video, you just posted your video, so I was just like, I'm thinking about that as I'm thinking about this topic tonight. I'm just like, she took a risk in a challenge group and me, and I'm like, now, look at that. You have, I can't provide what, and Tammy, you gave us I don't have a story. Tammy knows it. I'm just a dude who loves these programs, and I don't have a unique story. Tammy, everyone has a story, weight loss story. Like, that's a story. That's what stories sell. that's how people in this company blow up, and they make millions of dollars because they have a good story and they tell their story all the time. They stick to their story and they become masters at it. So, does anybody else, Irma, Norma, anybody have any, Amanda's was on, she's muted. Does anybody have any questions? We want this to be collaborative. It's not just like, well, this is what we're doing. We want to just try something different. So anybody can unmute themselves. I'm recording the call here. We definitely, if you guys want to put feedback too in the group and just, in our coach group, we're not going to post any. Hey.
Yeah, William talking. It's guys on mute. He's quite vocal tonight.
You're fine. My son just went to bed. You're just crawling all over. Go ahead, Amanda.
So I was just gonna say that I really think, like, when I go to talk to somebody about Beachbody, people can buy great workout DVDs online from Jillian Michaels or whatever. There's a lot of great workout programs out there. And I really think that what sets Beachbody apart really is the accountability groups. And so I think it makes sense to have something that's very focused on that, because I think that's really what sets us apart anyways. So yeah, my feedback is I really like that idea. And so does William.
Yeah, your son. I loved his butt cheeks with his cowboy boots.
Oh yeah, so cute.
That was so funny. I was like, maybe he has some feedback on challenge groups too. So. Yeah.
Little guy loves being naked, so he was pretty happy about that.
Yeah. My son ran around a diaper at the pool tonight. Probably wasn't winning Dad of the Year at that one on wet diaper. So, but anyway, and I thanks, Amanda, for sharing that. Again, I think if Carl Deichler and Jeff Hill got into our challenge group, you guys think about this. If we could take what we do behind the scenes in our closed group and show that to people, I think we'd be selling 30 challenge cups a month. I really believe that. It's so hard, and this is where I get super fired up, because it is so hard to package what we do in our challenge group and show that, and even tell it on Facebook, tell it in person. It is so incredibly powerful. Yeah, Shakeology is awesome. The workouts are phenomenal. But, the group is what is the driving force. It's the best part. I feel like, I did these programs before I coach. When Tim added me to a first, it was like the swarm group of Insanity Asylum. When I got into that group, I was like, Tim, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was doing Insanity by myself like for years, and it was boring. I did it because I loved the program, but I had nobody there to like say, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? When Tim added me that first group, it was like, I was hooked immediately. So I think if corporate saw what we're doing as a group, I think we nailed it. I don't mean to toot our own horn. And our group is so much our coaches, like what you guys do, and your stories and testimonials are just like, it's like the driving force. But I think if they saw what Team Endurance does on a challenge side of it, I think they would be like, this is what we should be showing on a wake-up call. Like, Team Endurance, you guys should do what they do. And I don't mean to be like, I'm not trying to brag, but I think what we do in our group is exactly what corporate wants and design, which is another reason why I want to stay away from the app right now, because I think, like I said, until Facebook decides to really put the handcuffs on, or until, with us having all these coaches and, an app's going to be a little easier to see what they're drinking, what they're doing, and logging it. But so anywho, with that being said, anyone else have something to say here? Looking for, okay. Yeah. So we'll give it a rip here. Gosh, I feel like it's 9 o'clock. I'm like trying to keep it short here. Does anybody have any questions about Summit? Anything else? Anything at all? I know, last week we had that call with the 21-day fix from our upline. The girls did the call. Anybody having any questions right now? I know with summer, July, anybody have any questions about challenge packs? Anything indifferent before we hang it up?
I'll message you my question.
Okay. Yeah.
Just have to do a Summit, so.
Perfect. Well, and again, I know we're all, aside from Tim, I'm a first time, I've watched the post for the last 3 years. And like I said, I'm so grateful. Our assistant superintendent is going to let Amy, my wife, be my guest teacher and let me go to Summit, because otherwise I would have been out the money, and that's just the way it is. So, but I'm lucky enough to go, and I'll probably get some my colleagues don't even know. So when I'm there, like, seeing posts, oh, Brent's gone, he's in Nashville. I'm sure when I come back, all my colleagues will be like, I knew you were doing Beachbody. So what did you tell? What did you tell her to let you go to Nashville? Like, you were in that conversation. I'm not telling you anything. But so anyway, yeah, you can message me, guys. I really appreciate when you get on the call. Again, this is just it's a work. It's a work in progress. I think I'll find the verbiage. I'll find, you guys can just please know, if you guys can, I'm going to put this post up or this video up. If you guys want to put anything in our coach group, what my suggestion is this: when we put a post up at some point here in the next week or so in our challenge group about our strategy for August, what I would recommend is this: each coach is going to have to private message their own challengers. And then we'll get the group created, and again, I don't think then we're not gonna have to worry about numbers. And then this is a big thing, as I'm sure everyone's clear, is that we don't want people posting in both groups, because then we're doing ourselves a disservice. Does that make sense? So we'll just post. I know in the past when we've done like just max, like when we did just max 30 or just 22-minute, we double dipped because it was just everyone. We want everyone doing different programs still. I don't think, that's awesome. I think it's great. People need to see all the awesome programs, from Sean T to, Shalene to, the Beast, anything. What we're doing is great. We're going to keep everybody doing different programs. We're just going to make sure whatever you're doing, you've got to post every day. We'll keep the parameters the same, and we'll just get her going and see how it goes.
So you're going to keep the Team Endurance page up, though, or?
Well, I'm afraid as an admin, if I close that group, I just don't want it to disappear.
Right.
So that's a conversation that I want to talk with Tim, because when we created that group, when you delete I just don't want that group to be deleted, because here's the thing: if we have challengers, let's say if there's challengers that don't want in, but let's say they don't want to leave the group, I don't want to have to, that's my way. That group is like my customers, all of our customers,
right,
our coaches. I don't want to have to be like, holy crap, like, I just lost my whole customer base because I hit the delete button.
Right.
So that's where my safety net. When I go to the group, if you go to the group on your phone, or I don't in my computer, what I do is, when you go to your computer, I go to members. And so when I go to members, I look at all my customers, and I hover over all their names. I do this about every 3 to 4 weeks. And occasionally I'll hover over somebody's name. It says add friend. And I'm like, oh, they just friended me. Okay, cool. And then I just remove them from the group. So that's what I do, because I've had so many people over the years. So Yeah, that's what we'll do, and then that way I think it'll be set to go for everybody to keep doing their own group. But I don't want to delete it because that's my biggest fear is that it begins.
That's what I wondered what they're going to do if they're not posting in that group. How's that going to keep them going?
They're not we've done incentives, right? We've tried, we've done prizes, we've done the banners. If they're not, we're just going to try. This is kind of like that next tier, like I guess an intervention. We'll call it what you want. If creating a new group and joining it, like, hey, what if my hope is that, and Tim and I talked, our hope is that, they're going to create a new group. They're going to try something new. Hey, guess what? I've been eating fast food for the last 2 weeks. I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I haven't drank my Shakeology. They're going to create another group for 30 days. Guess what? This is exactly what I needed. Bingo. And that's what we want. We want those people that are just like sitting back. There are probably a ton of people in our group that are just like, oh, here we go again. Seeing people posting. And that's great. Like, that's a great thing, what we're doing with everybody posting. Like, but we also know that there's people that are just sitting there probably thinking, if there's just something that they could try or just something to motivate me in like a 30-day group, they'll be like, well, I want to know what this group, I know what the team, and then when they know nobody's posting in our big group, they're like, well, wait a second, I want into that group. If this group looks like this and this group's going to be a new one, I don't want to leave this group. I better join the group or I better figure out what I'm going to do. And if they don't get on the train, then that's their choice. But my thought was, and again, I says just when I was throwing at Tim, was just take baby steps. And this is going to be a learning. It's not going to be end all be all, but we got to try something, because doing the same thing is just, we got to get these people of 400 people. We got to figure out how to get them plugged in so we can get it going and, get people back on track, because there's too many people that are just not posting. So.
But I know I've had some customers that have never posted, and when I talk to them, they'll tell me, "Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. I know that I don't post, but don't give up on me." So what if you have those people on there?
Well, I totally agree. You can't hold you can do everything for them, but we can't, I should watch my mouth here. You can't wipe their butts and hold their hands the whole time. At some point they need to put on their big boy pants. And then Irma, I have challenges like that too. I'm not making you post, but you've got all the tools in front of you. If you're going to make excuses, I can make excuses too. We're all busy. We all work jobs. We also have kids, getting on calls at night. This is stuff that we have to make a choice. We either do it or we do. Everything's there. Like Amanda said a few minutes ago, this company, they give us all the workouts. It's all there. All you have to do is follow the scripted program. Drink your Shakeology. If you have questions, put it in the group. So I do agree with you, Irma.
Yeah.
There's people that are just not going to post, or there's just people that are just going to be negative about it.
Mm-hmm. They're
going to see that I try to see it as half full, and I try to, you try your best to be sensitive about that, and you just encourage them like Tammy said, in a private message, and just say, hey, is there anything I can do for you? Obviously you're seeing that people are doing great in the group. Is there anything that I can help you with, or no? And they're saying, they might say, hey, I'm doing great. I see the post. I'm just not posting great. Or, hey, you know what? I'm just not posting because I was a little timid about this. Well, guess what? There's probably 30 other people have the same question. If you post that, it might motivate them because other people were giving them feedback.
Right.
This is just things we've seen over the years. It's pretty much textbook at this point. I've seen everything under the sun.
I have a list too of those same people that you were talking about, Irma, that tell me don't give up on them. I have a don't give up on list.
Yeah.
And I private message them at least once a month, if not twice a month.
That's awesome.
Because they're, just to say, hey, this is me not giving up on you. You're trying not to give up on you, so I'm checking in.
I have a niece that, she continues to drink her Shakeology. She doesn't work out. She, is on a call center for 911 and stuff. So she works long hours and the crazy hours. And I understand. And I know she'll exercise every once in a while. And every once in a while she does post, but it's not an everyday thing. And she'll say, don't give up on me, because, I still want to lose weight one day, and she still drinks her Shakeology. So it's like, you don't want to bail on those people or make them feel like you're leaving them out, but I understand, I do.
Yeah. And the powers in the private message, you just said it, Irma. That's the kind of stuff that you know these people, only we as coaches, we know our challengers best individually. We've had conversations, we know some of these people personally, or we've met them through social media. But at the end of the day, I mean, those are conversations that obviously have to happen behind the scenes, and just encourage them and getting them to be, we want to get them re-inspired. I mean, and get them back on track.
Right.
And just know that, we all have hiccups. We all bumps in the road. I mean, the coaches, as we know, we're not perfect. We make mistakes, and I'm just going to come from the mindset of this. I'm going to probably make a generic post. And then depending on the relationships I have with people, like I'm going to go through that group. What I'll do is this. I'll go through the group. We'll put a post up, of course. But then I'll watch it and see who's posting. I'll see who's liking it, and then I'll see who will request to join it. Tim and I, that's the great thing is they have to request to join it before we add them. So I'm going to have a tallied list of people that are already my customers in that group. Then I'm going to have people that are adding. I'm going to be crossing them off. And then the people that don't comment or don't do anything, I'm going to basically message them and just reach out just in case they've turned off notifications. You got to keep that in mind too. Some people may have turned off the group, not because they're necessarily like they don't like it anymore. Some people, I think too, and this is just the other side of it, there's so many posts that I think some people are like, oh my goodness, I could never do that. Oh, I'm turning off all the notifications for Team Endurance, not because I don't like those people, not because they're not inspiring me, but because it's too active. I get on Facebook and I can't do anything except see it in my newsfeed. You guys know, right? We love that stuff, right? We do that.
Right.
Tammy, at 11 o'clock at night, Tammy gets on. She's good. I mean, she's like, we all have crazy work schedules. That's awesome. But there are people that turn off notifications. So those people, I'm going to go through and just say, hey, listen, I'd love for you to join me or join us, because this isn't me. I mean, this is our team. We're all in this together. Our team for 30 days, and it's a fresh start. And, the parameters will be the same. And, hey, the worst they can say is no. But at the end of the day, I could be like, we did our best to get them back on track in a private message. This isn't something that I would put on our main group and say, hey, you got to join and be, not to be rude or disrespectful. The power is like in the follow-up, the power's in the private message. So awesome stuff. Yeah, we're I know we're 10 minutes over here. I'm sorry to keep everybody over. Well, with that being said, keep any questions come from the group, post them. The workouts are doing great. If anybody with Success Club, of course, throw your points in the Success Club document for July. And someone will be here in a few weeks. We'll get a new topic for next week, and we'll get everything going here real soon. So thanks for getting on the call tonight, guys. We really appreciate it, and have a great night.